What's up, everybody? It's Henry from the PSI Defense Channel coming to you with another video. I love how everybody has been bringing CO2 to the forefront. Sometimes as old vets, we take it for granted that everybody does not have a HPA compressor, nor the desire to have an HPA compressor. So CO2 is a very handy and viable option if you do it correctly, because there are some methods of CO2, some ways of CO2 that can render your launchers ineffective. Primarily, this is 88 gram CO2 with the Pepperball 88 gram CO2 buttstock. You can get this from Sterling at SSD, Sterling Self-Defense. I also have these. I have a couple of these for builds as well. But here is an 88 gram CO2, the Pepperball CO2 on-off adapter. This has had this pierced for the better part of, I guess, 5-6 months, and it hasn't lost a single psi of pressure. Very well constructed. Problem is that when you run it in a VKS through the rear ASA, first couple shots are incredible. I did a video, you can look back into my logs, and the video was absolutely phenomenal because I got incredible numbers just off of using 88 gram CO2. The problem is that after the fourth shot, you get O-rings, your O-rings freeze up, everything's cold, everything compresses, and you get a lot of blow by and you lose a lot of gas. You can't shoot beyond that. Reason being that when you go through the rear ASA with 88 gram CO2, see, this is full of CO2 compared to a full 12 gram of CO2. All liquid CO2 in both of these. Now, when you have the 88 gram in there, all the pressure forces straight liquid CO2 into your launcher in larger quantities than if you use 2x12 gram adapter, which has two 12 gram CO2s inside here. Dumps way more liquid CO2 into your launcher going this direct route. And what that does, it freezes up your internals. Now, I found, like with my top tank CO2 Stinger, this is incredible because it gives you, sorry about that, just got a phone call, but what I was saying, with this added length in the gas passage, and then as you can see, this also has a SSD VKS block, VKS bolt. It gives it more time so that the direct liquid CO2 doesn't directly make it to your internals, because all the expansion is happening through this process. Now, ideally, it's better if you have a longer whip or if you have a lower mounted, so that way gravity is not letting so much liquid CO2 into your launcher. But I've found with this, I've ran quite a few shots, quite a few. This comes with the extended magazine. That I don't get any freezing in this. You don't really get a lot of freezing with these FSCs as much, and with T9.1s. I have a T9.1 that I ran a lot of CO2 with, but I primarily stick to the 2x12 gram CO2 adapters for that reason, because there's less liquid that just shoots directly in there. So I'm going to shoot this with HPA, this VKS that you guys saw. This is my Project VKS, the last build that I have on for sale. It's coming with the 10 round mag. I'm going to shoot it with the HPA. Then I'm also going to fire it with the 2x12 gram CO2 buttstock, and then chrono everything. And then let's see, Old Faithful, my T8.1. As you see, it's got the Sterling Self-Defense power plug. I've got aluminum compensator and a Lapco Big Shot Assault barrel in there. Got a Comertech 16 gram CO2 mag, and I'll run the difference between a 12 gram and a 16 gram, show you the power numbers in that. I'll also do some testing on my Top Tank CO2 Stinger, Top Tank CO2 Stinger V, because it's got a VKS bolt and internals, and then have some fun. It's a beautiful day out. Hopefully my neighbors don't get too upset, but here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start out with the Top Tank Stinger V CO2. Nice little quarter turn click, And I've got the 6 Sour Romeo 5 on top, raised to wake. You never have to fuss with it. You set it, forget it. Whew. 468. Now these are HP 68s. $452. 434. 432. 420. And then if you let this sit, here, let me get one more shot so I'll show you. 410. The pressure will rise back up again. Now the reason I'm going to let it sit is because the pressure will build back up because the 88 gram CO2 has so much CO2 in it. So I'm going to degas that. Through the breech. All right, be careful because the top tank CO2 stinger will have some air still in there. Now, with the top tank HPA, I do have the ASA with the bleed off valve on those, so you can bleed off the valve so you don't have to dry fire to clear it out. But I'm gonna pause it real quick, slap an HPA tank on here. Okay, I have a Hero 2 13 CI tank installed onto the top tank stinger. It's not on there quite good, but I'm just gonna have it on here. If the tank swings out to the side, that's not indicative of what this actually does. It's just not set up for this. The CO2 is a lot tighter, so I used a different mounting system so that you can have a very compact, close setup. For the CO2 tank, the HPA tank stingers, I have two 45-degree setups so that the tank is like right up against the body down here. But just for continuity and to keep the same numbers so I can show you HPA versus CO2, this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to hold it with my finger there. All right, 464. 462. Well, didn't go into the breech and it didn't jam either, so it's really strange. But squeeze off a couple more rounds. I will tell you guys that ever since I discovered that with a flat follower, if you either file it or get a printed follower, that is the first type of malfunction of any kind I've had with HP68s. And it didn't even jam. I think it's spring tension on my extended magazine. But either way, I'm still very happy with that mod I came up with. 458. 464. All right, that's good enough for that. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go with my VKS next. $476. Ooh. Jam with the 80N drum mag. Oh, well, that's why this HP has a big nick in it on both sides, so it's been damaged. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of bright, so I can't see my front screen here. So yeah, it's got some nicks, which is why it got caught and tumbled in there. These don't have any jams or problems until it gets to the end where the follower is. That last round usually doesn't shoot too well, but if you can't get it done in 41 rounds, then you need more than a VKS. .480. .484. Another jam. Yep, same thing. Yep, so check your joules and your HP68s, because if you have damaged rounds, they will get caught up in your breech. Because honestly, I have not had this thing jam up on me once until the last shot with HP68s. So all right, got my CO2 adapter on here, gassed up. I'm going to fire these off kind of quick so I can see if we get any freezing. .390, 376, 364, 350, 342, 322, 308, 290. Yeah, so it's low on CO2, so possibility that you would have a freezing effect with this if it had a higher CO2 content in the tank, but I highly doubt it because of the extra long whip that you have here, and it follows up through the buttstock and then into your ASA, so it has a lot of time to expand to not dump the liquid CO2 into the launcher directly. And I would have liked to seen what kind of numbers this got with a full CO2, but I'm not gonna waste one of these big ones. I've got 2 close packs of them, and I'll just hold on to them because they're really good to have on hand in case of emergencies. If electricity goes out, you know, this might not be your first option. If your tank is leaking, if you rupture a burst disc, rather than waiting until you can have it back up and running, this is a really good option, especially when you have to put it out of the back. Now remember, this setup right here has been known to freeze when you run it straight through the back of your ASA. Like with this VKS, if this was actually designed for the patrol carbine. Pepperball actually also marketed this for their VKS, but I think at lower velocity settings they weren't experiencing the freeze up, because with higher velocity settings, what you're doing, you're getting a larger charge of gas into your bolt, and if that's liquid CO2, then that's where your freezing occurs. But if you run this adapter right here directly into the back of your VKS, your first 4 shots will be amazing power, but the remaining shots, it'll freeze up and it'll bleed all your gas out. Okay, I'm running HPs in this as well. Got plenty of air in the HPA tank. This is the one that is available now to ship. I'm going to have this on the website out soon. Yeah, and it's got my high power ASA mod. It's coming with the 10-gram magazine, which is very hard to find. These go for about sometimes $400 on eBay, $200 to $400, because they're no longer made. Monstrum handguard, UTG rubberized foregrip, molded beaver-tailed pistol grip. Got this really awesome buttstock with a rubberized pad on the back. It's got this texture, really good for when you put your cheek up against it. It's got the UTG red dot covers, very great. QD release. It's an awesome build. SSD barrel, SSD one barrel with a Lapco flash hider on the front. It's a very lightweight and balanced build. I really like the feel of this. Great for home defense. .440, 428, 436, 436, 430. What this is, it's a T9.1 buttstock. It's actually any AR buffer tube buttstock will go on there. Let's see if I can get the guide bar to function here. Look at there. All right, guide bar worked just fine. That's what I like about the hinge on the VKS guide bar. It allows for that. I think I might take a little bit of the metal. You see where that edge goes right there? Take some of that metal off, round that off, and then I'll be able to sit a lot more flush. Because right now, I can't expose. I can't expose the charging knob while using the guide bar because it won't go all the way through. See, if you're able to go all the way through, then you can charge it. But let me go ahead and charge it now. Yep, just keep twisting until you hear two CO2s pierce. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm going to kind of run through these quickly as well because I want to see if we get freeze up. So I'm not going to be showing the numbers, but I'll call them out. .422. I'll just show you that. Okay. 422, 412, 386. 390, 382. Out. Yep, I'm out. All right. That's your 12 gram CO2. Your 2 by 12 gram CO2. So as you see, that was enough to get through. If you had a larger 15 round mag, you could definitely get through that. I assume you could probably get through maybe 2 of these, but by the end of your second 10 round mag, you'd have been very low on power. So in a pinch, for home defensive situations, if you do not have a compressor, you don't want to make the investment to go into HPA. HPA is a bit of a burden. It does require significant investment, maintenance of your tank. You gotta watch your burst disc, you gotta watch your O-rings, additional O-rings and things like that. So HPA may not be for everybody. CO2, the 88 gram CO2s, 2 of these cost you 17 bucks. And I know some places you can still get, yeah, this is a 40 count. They used to be 45 count for like 17 bucks. Now they've gone up to like 22 bucks for the 40 count. It depends on where you find them, but still very economical because you're going to want to test your markers from time to time. You don't need to shoot all the time, but have a couple of these on deck, have a couple 2 by 12 gram CO2 adapters, and you're good to go. Right, promised you a T8.1 test. Give me just a second, guys. All right, here's my Comritech magazine. This V3.9 is really an amazing print. Shout out to Nicholas John of Comritech for all his innovations and for his contributions to less lethal. So I'm starting out with a 12 gram CO2, HP 68. Snip that up there. All right. $400 off a 12 gram CO2. $376. You know what? I think I stuck some of those. Yep, I just picked up a lot of the HPs off the ground. Stuck one of these chipped ones in there. $294. Sucks because I would have rather had a full accurate mag. Huh. Not feeding. See, this is why you want to shoot your launchers, because I haven't shot this T8.1 in what feels like forever. And when I put it up, it was cycling just fine. No problems. Okay, now I'm running out of gas. Okay, well, let's try 16 gram CO2. We'll just kind of measure the first 4 or 5 shots. These things are made for CO2. They don't freeze up. I'm just kind of trying to show you guys the difference between 16 to 12 gram CO2. I do get better numbers with the 16s. All right. Here we go. Now this is a 16 gram CO2. Yeah, I got 400 with the 12. Let's see what I get with the 16. 416. Quite the kick too. Man, something is getting stuck. $362. Yeah, having a jamming issue. Alright, well, that's it for that until I figure out what's going on with that. Well, there you have it, guys. Hopefully you guys found some value in this content. You can see some of the pros and cons of CO2 versus HPA. It's definitely good in a pinch. You have to make your own decision on if you want to use shape projectiles or not. This is the most issues I've had with shape projectiles in a while, so I got to find out what's actually been going on, because I've changed nothing and I usually don't get jams like this. So I'm gonna be doing some digging into that to find out a little bit more about what's behind all that, what's going on. Hopefully I can narrow it down. The only thing that I can think of is that I did install the printed followers. I won't say anybody's name, but you know who sells all the printed followers. I'm not saying that's the issue, but that's really the only thing that I'm doing different. And I'm a big proponent of HP 68s. Actually, on the sale, I picked up a whole ton of them because that's what I'm going to be shooting. They're usually way more reliable than this. So I'm going to be doing some more testing. As I get a little bit more time, I'll be putting up some more videos, and hopefully I can get to the bottom of the HP 68 issue. But thanks again for you guys supporting the channel. Definitely take care of yourselves and each other. Always be safe around this stuff. It's always very dangerous. So definitely make sure you shoot safe conditions, that you don't have anything on the downrange or on the other side of your trap that could potentially be injured and damaged, because these guns at over 430, 450, 480, they'll shoot straight through my privacy fence that's around my patio here, and on past. So definitely be careful with what you guys are doing. Always be conscious of what you're doing. Be respectful of your neighbors. And until next time, y'all, this is Henry signing out. Peace.